Namaskar, I JV Rekha Sharma, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Department Fashion and Interior from Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Khush raho bityao. Today's our session name is Double Top Stitch from our subject Construction Techniques. In our previous session, I had teach you about top stitch, and today we will learn how can we do double top stitch on any garment or any other sewn project. Top stitching is along seams is actually quite simple because you can use the seam line as a guide. It is really up to you and your design specifications how far from the seams you want to top stitch, like 1/4 inch, half inch away from the seam, half centimeter away from the seam, or 1 centimeter away from the seam is used most commonly in the stitches. You can also top stitch on just one side or on both sides of the seam line. In addition, it is your choice whether you had like to add a single stitch or cluster of stitches. So let's start. How can we do top stitch? Top stitching on both sides of the seam. When top stitching is on both sides of the seam line, make sure you finish the raw edges of the seam allowances individually by serging or applying a zigzag stitch. Here we see that the raw edges are finished with the zigzag stitch. So it can't be free. After clean finishing the raw edges, pin and machine stitch the seam together at the desired seam allowances, same as the picture. Here we are joined 2 ply of the fabric by the plain seam. Now from the face side of the fabric, iron the seam allowances open so as shown in the picture. After ironing on the face side of the fabric, we have to do step 4, working on the face side of the fabric. Remember, we will always do the top stitch on the face side of the fabric. Working on the face side of the fabric, align your pressure foot of the machine with the seam line and begin stitching, making sure that you are stitching through the seam allowances on the back side of the fabric. Everything should remain smooth and flat. After that, repeat this step on the other side of the seam line in order to achieve a single row of even top stitching on both sides of the fabric. So after this process, the top stitch is ready on this swatch. So in our practice session, what to do? Please take a 7" by 7" fabric swatch, cut it into 2 pieces and start with a plain seam and do the double top stitch as I described you in this session, and to paste it in your file. Hope you understand how can we do top stitch on the fabric. If you have any query, please comment me on the comment box and I will surely define you in our live session. Thank you. Khush raho bityao.